Hi guys, this is Alex. Welcome to Series 3, Episode 3 of this tutorial series, SoundWorks Scores. In this episode I'm going to continue talking through the second section of this rescore. Talking through guitar feedback techniques I've used, the vocal sampling tricks I've used, and also using white noise and sidechaining it to a synth to achieve a certain percussive sound about it. So let's go. So the main thing that you'll hear in the second section of this rescore is that really aggressive feedback sound. This was achieved through various instrumentation and techniques in production, and the main part of it is actually a vocal sample that I used in Cubase's sample pack. Just a very simple vocal sample. You can see here. But that was the initial sound, and a lot of processing was done to achieve the final one. So the very first thing I did was apply the guitar rig from Native Instruments and used the harmonic synthesizer. Now this is what made all the difference. This is what gave it that harmonic distortion, gave it all of those extra, just richened up the timbre completely and just completely distorted the hell out of it. So it's got a sub function as well, which gives a nice bit of underlying low end and sub in there. Kept a little bit of the dry, a little bit of the high octave and some of a square wave as well. And it was that square wave that introduced the harmonic content that I wanted. And it also had a little bit of reverb from the reflector unit in here as well. So this is the main reason why it sounds so distorted. It is mainly because of that harmonic synthesizer that you see here, but also because of the reflector as well. And it goes from this all the way to this. And that's all because of that guitar rig right there. I use this a lot for this kind of sound. Obviously it's very specific, and like obviously after a certain type of multimedia and a certain type of feel, but this guitar rig definitely makes all the difference when it comes to creating that really distorted sound. It's basically through a guitar rack, and putting that vocal through the guitar rack really gave it a specific sound that I really liked. So that was the main sound of that feedback texture that you hear, but I also layered it with some guitar feedback that I recorded as well. Now I was just playing harmonics on a guitar on the 12th fret, on the 7th fret, on the 5th fret, just to kind of get slightly different timbres from each of them, and I kind of combined them all and layered it with that distorted vocal that you just heard, and the actual feedback by itself with that guitar rig on again, but not with the harmonic synthesizer, instead the Ramfire preset, but with a little bit of extra fuzz on the top here. So it's a very fuzzy, distorted sound, but it sounds like this. And I also automated both of these as well, so it just fades in and out very slowly. So that by itself sounds like that. And in combination with the vocal sidechain, sounds like this. Yeah, I've got to mention that I also put a reverb on the vocal sidechain as well, which is going to Universal Audio EMT 140 plate reverb. So that's the main part of the feedback sound that you hear in the second section of this rescore. I do have a couple of other vocal things that I did. Very, very simple. I just took a very simple vocal sample from Cubase and just a voxscape in G minor, as you can see here, but I've slightly automated the pitch, so I have a glide on here. It's a technique that's used in lots of modern pop productions and things like that, and it's something that's used by guys like DJ Snake and stuff like that. So utilizing that glide function, it's kind of like that lean on sort of vocal sound. So I use that. That's very subtle. I panned it right, this particular one. So it's something very subtle and very simple, but it definitely gives it a little bit in the mix. So yeah, it's something very, very small and very subtle, but definitely makes a difference. So in terms of that, I then also went, just to give it a little bit more percussion-y vibes in there as well, I used this technique that you can use on Retrolog from Cubase's synth, which is really, really nice. I really like it, but what I really like about it is that you can use a sidechain feature on it. So this one in particular, I haven't got anything on the oscillators in the actual Retrolog itself, but what I do have is white noise, which is being generated from Massive here. Something very simple, literally just a simple white noise, which is basically being sidechained through that Retrolog, but I'm on that Retrolog I have an arpeggiator. So with that white noise, it's being sent through this arpeggiator. So it gives it sounds a little bit like a shaker, but at the same time it doesn't. It sounds a little bit different. The envelope's a little bit different. I've actually changed the envelope a little bit to make it sound just a little bit crisper and a little bit shorter. And I've also got a high pass filter on there as well. So this is how that sounds. All right. And on there you have a delay and a little bit of reverb, but not much. And the transient master, which I often use for a lot of these percussive instruments. So that was the percussive element of that, and then I did exactly the same technique. I basically sidechained a vocal through that Retrolog again. I basically used that Voxscape, which I've been previously using for these vocal samples on this score, and sidechained it through the Retrolog onto the arpeggiator again, kind of short, sharp arpeggiator with one long note there, staying on that same note, and also include a little bit of the altar boy for the high octave, bringing down that mix a tiny bit, and also just a bit of L2 to limit it and bring it up a little bit as well. So that by itself sounds like this. So just pedaling that G, but it gives it just a little bit underneath that I really like, in combination with that DJ Snake style vocal here as well. So that combination of vocals sounds like this. Sorry, here you go. 2, 3, 4. And then in total. So yeah, that is how all of that sounds in conjunction with the rest of the mix. So that's it for this episode in the series. Join me in the extra features where I'll be talking through a number of things, both scoring and production related. I'll see you then.